Decisions about evaluation strategies are dictated by the intended learning outcomes or behavioral learning objectives you have developed for your students' learning in your course. Are your evaluation strategies aligned with your outcomes or objectives at the appropriate cognitive level? Do you have multiple forms of evaluation which maximize the student's chance of success? Once you have made sure that your evaluation strategies do align with your course objectives, you will need to configure the settings in the Desire2Learn gradebook to keep track of grades. Click on the Grades tab in the brown navigation bar at the top of the course. If you have never set up anything in this gradebook, you should automatically be taken to the Setup Wizard. If not, you can get to the Setup Wizard by clicking on the Setup Wizard on the left-hand side of the screen. The Setup Wizard will give you an overview of the current settings for this gradebook. In order to proceed, click on Start. The screen that is now shown is where you choose the grading system, and there are three options here. The most common choice is the weighted grading system. This system allows you to specify the weight any particular assignment contributes to the final grade, as well as how many points the item is out of. An example might be a paper that is 20% of the final grade but is scored out of 50 points. The second option is the point system. Using this system, you can only specify how many points each grade item is scored out of, and the final grade is based solely on the sum of the points available. The final option is the formula grading. This is similar to the points option. This is what you would use if you know you will be grading on a curve, since you can apply a formula to specific assignments or the final grade. In this example, we will choose weighted and then click Next. This section of the wizard sets how grades will be released. The two choices are calculated final grade and adjusted final grade. The adjusted option allows for manually changing a final grade instead of using the calculation done by the D2L gradebook. You would use this if you are using norm reference grading, that is, grading on the curve. We will choose calculated and click Next. Step 3 in the wizard provides additional options for instructors who are using grading practices that allow students options in what is graded. This section sets how the ungraded items will be managed in the gradebook. If you are using assignments where the lowest grades from a group of assignments will be dropped, like a weekly quiz, or students have a choice of one assignment over another, like completing a project or giving a presentation, in both cases you will likely want to treat ungraded items as 0. In the quiz example, you may have a weekly graded quiz, but have offered the students the best 10 out of 12 marks. This allows for the student to be unsuccessful in one quiz and have a life happens day and not have it negatively affect their entire grade. It allows for them to learn from their mistakes. In order to not lose track of ungraded items, it would be best to choose Treat Ungraded Items as 0. A student will quickly inform you if they are given a 0, but may not do so if an item was dropped. So we will choose Treat Ungraded Items as 0. You can also select the option to have the final grade kept up to date in the gradebook as items are added. This is helpful for students who sometimes are not as strong at math and need assistance calculating their grades. It also allows the students to make an informed decision about whether to VW out of the course based on current information about their performance. We have now made the two choices available to us in Step 3, so we can click Next. Step 4 allows you to choose a default grade scheme for your gradebook. Schemes allow you to have letter grades automatically calculated from the numeric grades and allow for students below a certain threshold to be visible in the gradebook. You will likely not have created a scheme at this point, so you can select the default one that is shown and click Next. You would need to develop a scheme if you want to create a pass-fail grade, where the student must achieve above a certain grade value in order to pass, and the fail would be designated below that grade value. Step 5 shows how many decimals will be displayed for the instructor when grading. Select the number you wish to see and click Next. There are implications to rounding the grade for each assignment. It can result in an artificially elevated grade. It is better to use 1 or 2 decimal points and only round up to no decimal points for the final grade. Step 6 displays the options available for grade details and what is displayed in the gradebook submission view. Generally, the points grade needs to be displayed and one or both of the grade scheme options if you are using a grade scheme. The number of characters to display will allow you to display only the first few characters if you have assignments with longer names. This will prevent the need to scroll from side to side as much when looking at the gradebook. The checkbox to display final grade calculation to users should not be checked, since the final grades are to be released through Aurora and not through Desire2Learn. This is very important, as no grades for a course are final until they are released through Aurora. After hitting Next, you will be brought to Step 7. Step 7 displays the summary of the options chosen in the wizard. Check over these and click Finish. You have now set up your gradebook settings and can now move on to setting up your gradebook categories and items.